Welcome to Exact Training. This lesson is on using the visual BOM in the Bill of Materials module. The visual BOM allows you to enter your product structure by dragging and dropping components from either a Part Master window or from other product structures. Today we will learn how to accomplish this task. We will review the BOM panes and preference settings. We will discuss the different ways to view the existing BOM structures, and we'll walk through how to add or remove parts from a product structure. Before we can begin adding product structures, we need to understand the different sections or panes of the visual BOM window and review some user preference settings. To open the visual BOM, we will need to go to the Engineering tab and launch the Bill of Materials module. We'll then either select the Visual BOM icon or go to the Activity menu and select Visual BOM from the menu. Once the window opens, we will look at the user preferences, and finally we'll review the different panes in the visual BOM to prepare for adding new structures. From the System Manager, select the Engineering tab and choose the Bill of Materials module. And the Bill of Materials window will open. You can now click on the Visual BOM icon or select the Activity menu and select Visual BOM. Before we can go any farther, it is a good time to discuss the user preferences. These preferences are important to set before making any changes to a product structure. They only need to be set once for each user. So select the Options menu now and choose Preferences. We can now see two options that need to be reviewed. If Add With Date is enabled, the current date will be added automatically as the component's effectivity date. If Add With Date is disabled, max assign January 1st, 1990 as the effectivity date. Check the Copy Bill of Material Notes box to copy the associated BOM notes for any part that you drag and drop into a product structure in Visual BOM. And click OK to save the changes. Now that we have the preferences set, let's take a look at the three different panes of the Visual BOM. The first is the Part Master pane. This pane shows all the parts in your system. This is where you can search for parts, to review their product structures, or to add a product structure. You can browse for parts using several different options. Let's look for a part by the Part Description 1 field. Type something in the search field and click the Search button to locate the part. We can now see all the parts that fit the criteria we entered. Click the Erase button to clear the search. You can also use the Move Up and Down arrows, the Page Up and Page Down, and Go to Beginning and Go to End arrows to scroll through the parts list and any search results. From this pane, we will select a part to view its current product structure. Double left-click on the part to open it in the Product Structure pane. We can now see the part in the Product Structure pane. This pane is used to view the component part numbers required to build this part in a tree view. It can also be used to copy current BOMs into a different BOM. We will talk more about this later in the lesson. If we double right-click on the part number in the Part Master pane, we will see the part in the BOM Builder pane. This pane is used to add or modify your product structures. We'll come back to this pane later in the lesson. You can modify the size of any of these panes by clicking on the grid line and dragging and dropping. Let's expand the view of the Part Master and Product Structure panes. Click on the grid and drag it to the left. Now we'll adjust the size of the Part Master and Product Structure panes the same way. And we've made the Part Master area smaller. Now you know about the three panes: Part Master, Product Structure, and BOM Builder. We've discussed how to use the Part Master pane, so let's discuss now the Product Structure pane. Let's take a look at an existing BOM structure. While still in the Visual BOM screen, we'll select a part to review. We'll select the viewing options, and then we'll review the Product Structure pane features. We're back in the Visual BOM screen and ready to go into more detail about the Product Structure pane. Remember, this pane is used to view the component part numbers required to build this part in a tree-like view. We double left-click on the part in the Part Master pane to see the tree. But there is more detail to this structure that needs to be seen. The view shows the component parts with a current effectivity date. We may want to see all component relationships for this part. This is possible by checking the All Dates box. We may also want to see any records with a 0 quantity per. These would be relationships that have been removed from the structure, but allow you to see the history of when it was removed. Click this description box to see the part descriptions. And we can now see the descriptions. Let's click the detail box to see additional information. We can now see the quantity per and the unit of measure. The quantity code, which tells us if the quantity is a unit or percentage, and the BOM type, which tells us if it is a normal BOM record or engineering BOM record, which does not require the part when being built and is for display only. And finally, the effectivity date of the component for this parent part. You can enter an alternate code or view any alternate BOM structures for this part. Double-click to view the available alternates. And the alternate process browser window will open. Click Search to see the available records. We can see that there are 2 alternate records for this part that could be viewed. You could double-click on one of the records to view the alternate BOM associated. Let's just close the window for now. Checking this box will show all the alternate records, so we'll view those instead. We can now see additional records and their alternate code. Instead of viewing the exploded view of this part, we can see where this part is used by clicking the Implosion checkbox. This plus button will expand the structure view beyond the single view level to show the subassembly component information. You can now see the exploded view of the structure. Click the 1 button to return to the single level view. And we are back to the single level view. To expand the structure for a single component, double-click on any component icon that has a plus. And now we see the components for just that one subassembly. You can continue double-clicking to expand each level as necessary. And you can also see the next level of detail. Double-click the part again to return to the previous view, or click the 1 button to return to the single level view. The last feature of the product structure pane is to view where the part is used. You currently see the structure for part 12150. If we click on the implosion checkbox, you will now see all the structures that use this part. Uncheck the implosion checkbox to return to the previous view. This covers the product structure pane. Now let's add a new BOM structure using the BOM Builder pane. Here's what we'll do. From the Visual BOM window in the BOM Builder pane, we will select a few menu options, and then a part. And we will add and remove components from its structure using the BOM Builder pane. So we're back in the BOM Builder pane. Let's look at some options for displaying the structure records. If you would like to see all records regardless of effectivity date, click the All Dates button. If you would like to see all the zero quantity per records, click the Zero Quantity box. Remember, these are records that are entered to show the date a component was removed from the structure. Just like in the product structure pane, the alternate box will designate if the BOM structure we are building is for an alternate code or not. You can manually enter a code or double-click to select one from the browser. And the alternate process browser window will open. To populate this window with available items, click the Search button. And we can see the alternate codes that are set up for this part. Double-click a row to select it. We are now seeing the alternate BOM structure for part 11,000. Just like in the product structure pane, clicking in the plus button will explode the structure to show all components at all levels. And clicking the 1 button will return us to a single level view. The date box is the effectivity date that you want to see for the components. It will show the component part's most recent effectivity date as long as it is prior to this date, unless you have the All Dates or Zero Quantity options selected. It is also important to note that any new product structure relationships added or removed will be saved using this date as the effectivity date. Product structure relationships that were entered using an effectivity date will show that date on the line leading to the component part, as shown above. Now double-click here to highlight a row. Hold the Shift and the right-click button. You will see the mouse turn to the circle with the line through icon. Keep holding the Shift and the right mouse button down and drag it over on top of the part you are adding it to. And you will see the icon change to a small page with a plus sign. This is your indication that you can now release the Shift and right mouse button to add the part. And now the part is added to the structure. However, you can tell it is still a pending change by the red line connecting it to the parent part. You can also see the effectivity date that it will be added. If you want to change that effectivity date, double-click on the date on the red line and change it from the calendar. Now let's change the quantity per to 4. To set additional information for this parent component structure, click the ellipsis button on the component. The Part Master BOM tab will open and you can enter the additional information. We can now enter more information regarding this relationship. Let's change the lead time offset field. Click the Update button to save the change to the relationship, and click Close. We are now ready to save the changes. Click the S or Save icon to save. You will be prompted to validate that you do want to save the changes to the BOM structure. Click Yes. We now see that the part we added has been placed in the BOM structure. Max will reorder the component parts into part number order. Now let's delete a part. You can of course just click on the gray line leading to the component and hit the delete key. However, we recommend that you actually add a new record with a zero quantity and the date of the change so you can see what the product structure was previously. To do this, you'll follow the same steps as adding the part. Highlight the row, hold down the Shift and right mouse button, and drag it to the parent part. And here we see the part now shows in the structure twice, the one we just added with the red line and the original. We will change the quantity to 0 on the new record, which tells Max that we want to remove this part from the structure on this date. And click the S or Save icon to save our changes. When you're prompted to save, click Yes. You can now see that the current BOM structure contains the record with 0 quantity due. If we unchecked the 0 quantity option above, this record would no longer be visible as well. That's all you need to do. This completes the lesson on the visual BOM. You should now understand the different panes and the preference settings, how to view BOM structures, and how to add or remove parts on a product structure. Thank you from Exact Training.